Hi, my name is Wilkin Brutus.
And I am Paulette Francois.
You're listening to A Boat, a Voyage. In 2013, my hardworking Haitian mother spent 2 weeks with me in South Korea during my quote expat life abroad. We find ourselves awkwardly privileged, dark skinned with our American passports, watching South Asian migrants being frowned upon by the locals in our Busan subway ride. And on a metal chopstick evening, she finally opened up to me about a refugee story and past struggles of being a poor, parentless child immigrant in South Florida. In the 1980s, Haitians were simply boat people on the very bottom of the social hierarchy. I was simply a first generation American with one foot in Americanism and one foot in Haitian culture. So I wanted to learn more about her actual journey, what it was like for a 16-year-old girl from Jérémie, Haiti, to sacrifice the comfort of her immediate family and take a voyage across the Atlantic Ocean, a destination to an uncertain future. I was curious because we only know our parents as caregivers who automatically provide love, food, and shelter. But they're actually like blood related strangers until you muster up the courage to interrogate their past. It was weird for me to use the word expat with my mom because our respective decision to migrate to another country was under drastically different socioeconomic circumstances, and it felt necessary, at least for the preservation of our family's history here and in Haiti, to document her untold immigrant story. So yeah, this is a boat, a voyage, a Q&A interview with my mother, Paulette Francois. Ça qu'a fait maman.
Aboulé.
Not boulé. Tu baga enfant?
Yep.
That's good. That's good.
Yes.
What's the phrase of today?
Today is
What you don't know is greater than you.
then yes.
How can I say it in Creole?
So back on epic go
So back on that pigan paso. What you don't know is greater than you.
Yes.
With that said, Mom, I want to learn more about you.
Okay.
Okay. When you arrived at the Haitian shore and you saw the little boat, the Tibato, and looked into the vast ocean, did you ever say to yourself, "What the hell am I doing?"
I think of that, but I was not really too panicking of it because I had so many friends around me.
And your friends just made you feel comfortable?
Yeah, they make me feel comfortable.
Wow, you were literally the child of the sea. It reminds me of Edwidge Danticat. Remember Edwidge Danticat, the Haitian author? In her book Quick Cock. Quick Cock. And in that book, there's a chapter called Children of the Sea. So you remind me of Child of the Sea. But well, can you explain what Quick Cock means?
Quick crack means it's like you start a story. And then the person who was telling the story say click. And the other person who listening to the story say crack.
Cock.
So the story can be
So,
get
click.
started, crack.
Quick.
It's like you almost like say sac passé.
Not
Say,
boule. Yeah.
You know, similar to that.
Yeah, so it's call and response. So let's try.
It's fine.
Quick.
Crack.
Quick.
Crack.
All right. So that's awesome. I'm gonna start doing that. All right. So how old were you? And did both of your parents agree to let you go?
They didn't really agree to let me go. It's just a challenge towards friends and family.
Yeah.
But my mother not really to support it because she was really scared about it. You know, I was like 15 going to 16.
15. Wow.
15. But I was very responsible. I was very responsible child. Maybe that's why my dad not really supported. He supported halfway, but not really all the way. My mom not really supported because I had,
So your father supported just a little bit?
just a little
Well,
bit.
why do you think he supported and your mom did not?
I think my dad know that I am responsible.
Even at
I have
15,
a-
he felt
Yeah, he
comfortable
feel that comfortable.
with sending his daughter
Yeah.
600 miles across
My
the
dad
Atlantic.
always trust me with so many things.
Do you think you felt like you were mature for your age at that time
I was
because you had so
very
many siblings?
mature, yeah. Because I have to look over my sibling when my mother not home.
Right.
I have to cook for them and, make sure they bathe and keep the house clean and everything like that. So it's like every elder person in my neighborhood trusts me with everything. That they know I'm responsible to do this and I did.
Right.
You know?
Wow. And how difficult was it to say goodbye to your family and close friends? How difficult was that?
It was very difficult to. Mostly, I miss my mom because my mother, she's a very shy woman.
Yes. Yeah.
I was very overprotective of her because of that. She was very shy. She's very quiet. So I always like to protect her so nobody take advantage of her, kindness and everything like
Yeah.
that. But for whatever reason, I feel like I can do anything. I'm very wise. I was a very wise girl. I feel like I can do whatever that I need to do to help my family.
Exactly.
And in the future, when I was 12 years old, I was making request to God. I told God, I was sitting by the ocean, play with my friends, and I told God that I don't want to have children at my mother's house because I feel like the future had more for me to explore.
Right.
I don't want to be here, there with my other friends, do it. I don't see the future for what I want for my life.
Economically, politically.
Yeah, it's not
in
enough
Haiti
for
at the
me.
time, it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough for what I want and what I need. And then I wanted to explore.
You said, I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm out.
you know.
And wow, that's huge, Mom. That is. So what kind of items did you bring with you on that boat?
I bring. It was June. We were living in Haiti in June, so this is time of mango. We had so much mango. We had bread. We had what else? We have fried fish, fried not fried
Plantains?
plantain.
No
We have
plantains?
cassava.
Cassava.
No, you have we bring fried plantain so we can eat,
Yeah.
but that doesn't you last for too long. It's
Right.
like for one day. And we bring cassava, we bring fried fish, we bring other stuff, But we didn't know what we were gonna face. We didn't know what we were gonna face.
So you brought you brought limited items.
Limited items.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
we're gonna
limited
banana,
things
so
that
we need
can
banana.
last momentarily.
Momentarily.
Yeah. So how big was the boat, and did you go with anyone in particular?
I went with my cousin Arnold.
How old was Arnold?
Arnold was like,
Arnold.
oh God, Arnold was like at the time 25 or 26.
Yeah, still very young. Also.
And I have one of my god brother, and we had a lot of family member, a lot of family of our neighborhood, our circle.
Also, extended family members.
Extended family member.
Okay.
And when we were at the shore where we went to get to the boat, there was other people from other areas that meet with us to get in the boat. But the boat overcrowded, so they have to leave some people behind. And I have my best friend Marie that was there, but we was not in the same group. So she was about to stay in the shore. So I jumped in the ocean, and swam and go get her.
Just to get her.
So I'm like, what are you doing? Let's go, Mary. And she said, Paulette, there is no space. The captain said I have to stay. I was break down. I said, no, we gotta go. So I jumped her, get her to the water.
Wow.
And I swam to the boat with her.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Was she... Man, you jumped off the boat and swam toward her. Was she reluctant to go? Do you think that was a... did she do that on purpose?
No.
Okay.
Because the captain didn't have enough space.
Okay.
Because they didn't know there was so many people wants to go.
Right.
So I said, Mary, like I don't have no we about same age. It's like I don't see, I need somebody like to communicate with, like, we click and stuff like that. So I jump and swim and get her. So we get in the boat together and she said, oh my God, I can't believe you did that for me, Paulette. I can't believe. And we hug and we cry to each other. I said, no, what are you doing? Why you try to skip? Like, I told you to stay close to me. But because she was in a different group, she thought they would not let her go in my group. And my brother, I have my whole family with me. So they support me for what I did for her.
Wow.
And she's so appreciative. Yeah.
That is huge. And so everyone's on a boat now. Everyone's comfortable sigh of relief, like, oh man, we are actually doing this.
Yes.
So now you're on the boat and you have to think, you have to have a forward thinking approach now. So what did everyone have a name for the boat? Was there a name for the boat?
The name for the boat was C'est la vie.
C'est la vie.
Yeah, I think that's the name for the boat.
The irony.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie.
Uh-huh.
This is life.
Because, yeah, in my area, like my dad every year, he has a different sailboat. So he named one after my sister. The year after, he named one C'est la vie also. Or they always went like God name sometimes to the boat and design the boat to a different color, make it look so beautiful and stuff like that. But when I was in the boat, I was thinking very hardly of my mom. There was a point I break down a couple times.
Emotional breakdown.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, what's she gonna? My mother was. I knew I was gonna miss her so much. So I have one of her dress on me.
Your mom's dress?
Yeah, she had this peach dress. So I put it on me when I was leaving. I say every time I feel uncomfortable or I feel like scared or whatever, I just hug myself like I'm hugging her,
Wow.
And I had her dress on, take it off. I put different clothes on. But when we were somewhere else, but every time I'm getting the road again to get to the ocean again to live, I put her dress on me.
Other boats had previously sunk, right? Haitian men, women, and children had drowned.
Yes.
Some boats left towards Cuba and stayed. Your boat, going toward Miami, obviously, had 40 people in it.
Yeah.
With, faith leaders arguing over power. Such a dangerous mission.
Dangerous. It was
and you went through the Windward Passage to stop by Cuba first. So what was that experience like, going to Cuba first before venturing off to Miami?
Cuba is closer to Haiti. So if whatever the situation is, you didn't get a chance to go to Cuba, that's fine too. But because of the weather was so bad, we had to stop in Cuba. While we stopped in Cuba, because our boat was about to sink.
Wow.
We had this wave. It was like one Tuesday. It was like 3 in the afternoon. The sun was still out, but it was so terrible weather. Oh my God. In that moment, I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? That's that moment I had myself, oh my God, what am I getting myself into, Marie? And then she was sick. Barry was very sick.
Oh wow. Seasick or just
seasick. So I keep putting water over her head, but for a distance while we was in the ocean, we was looking at Cuba, but we was very far from Cuba. But there was a wave came from out of nowhere. This wave was so high, went over our boat, go all the way to the other side. That moment, our boat was about to sink. But the captain was a very good captain. So I think he turned the boat to our other side. And then he said, everybody throw everything out of the boat. Everything. The boat was about to sink.
My goodness. And this is going towards Cuba still.
Towards Cuba. But we are so far still from Cuba. And then he has us throw everything out of the boat, the food, the clothes, the water we have in the boat, every single thing out, so the boat can get,
up, can lift up.
Up. The boat can lift up with the water out, throw other people. Oh my God. But you know why? All this time I was in the boat, I keep hearing a voice. At that moment, I clicked thinking of my mother again. Because for me, there's so much I want to do for her before she died. And that's the promise I make to God. But I heard the voice. This voice never left me since I left Haiti. The voice keeps saying, why are you so feared? I told you not to fear. I am here with you. Paulette did not tell. But I was, all this thing I'm going through, I don't get scared. My heart, my spirit was just remain the same. I was not fear at all. You know, the drama kind of got carried away, but I'm not like, oh my God, oh my God,
Right.
like that. No, I don't. I was very calm. And then I keep hearing the voice keep saying, not to worry, Paulette. You don't have nothing to worry about. It's like somebody sitting next to me talking. I don't see the person, but I keep hearing the voice. You understand? I keep hearing the voice. And I keep telling Mary, don't worry. I heard God tell me everything is gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be all right. And everybody like in the boat asks me, why she's like that? Like nothing happened for her, you know. But I keep thinking in my head, I say, Lord, if I have my asthma here, that's it for me. Because when I have my asthma, I had it bad.
You had an asthma attack during that time?
No,
At all?
not at all, Wilkin.
Wow. So the asthma attacks came later, much, much later.
I used to have the asthma in Haiti nonstop. And then while I was in the boat, I'm like, something clicked to my head. I said, why am I get to this boat to go so far away? What am I thinking?
So you started feeling regret.
Feeling regret. Because I said, if I have my asthma, I don't have no medicine. I don't have nothing here. I'm like, oh my God. It's like you forget to get something. You understand? So this voice keeps saying, Paulette, I told you not to worry. Everything is going to be all right. Just like that, okay? I didn't get my asthma attack not once. When we get to Cuba, they kind of embrace us. They are happy that we make it because the weather was so horrible, Wilkin.
So the coast or the Cuban policemen.
The Cuban policeman there, yeah.
Was it a small town also?
Did
you see like Cubans in a small town at all?
Yeah, it's a small town, like a small
village, maybe?
Village we get to. But there's a lot of boat, a lot of activity, a lot of police all over the place, you know. So they come and capture us. And they get our boat, they fix it, put it in the ocean somewhere to get it fixed.
Right.
And then we stay in Cuba, I think, for almost 2 weeks or weeks.
Wow.
Or 1 week or something. And then they give us shelter, food, water. They treat us like nothing happened.
Wow, just a wonderful treatment.
The wonderful treatment. I love them. And I always say, when we first came to the U.S., I say, if I didn't have Haiti to America,
you would have stayed in Cuba.
I would stay in Cuba. Because
so I would have been Cuban.
You would have been Cuban.
I would have been Cuban.
I love the Cuban. I love the Cuban people. They treat you with so much respect. They're so kind, very gentle with you, you know. And they come in, offer us water. There's a girl who went water for me. I give her, what did I give? I have some stuff in my bag. I give to her, and she went water. We make friends, you know.
Were you surprised to see black people in Cuba sometimes? When people think of Cuba, they think of just white Cubans.
Yeah,
but
I see a lot of black people. There's a lot of Haitian in Cuba.
It just makes sense that it would be multiracial.
Multiracial.
But a lot of people don't, mainstream media don't see that. They just see white Cubans in Miami.
I see a lot of black Cuban, some Haitian over there too.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Haitian Cubans.
You know? But when we first get over there, I thought when they saw us, they would be like, you know, but they were so happy to see us. They embraced us like we made it.
Now,
oh my God.
So that's very interesting because your emotions are very high.
Yes.
You feel very welcomed, but you still have to go to Miami.
To Miami.
So when you finally left Cuba, after they fixed the boat, after they, gave you some resources, some food or whatnot, drinks, did you feel, first of all, did you still feel regret? And were you now afraid to leave now from Cuba?
I was adapted to the Cuban system because I click with them so fast.
Yeah.
To this day, I click with Cuban people. Click so quick. And when we're leaving again to come to Miami, I'm like, oh my God, I wish I could stay in Cuba. But we didn't left Haiti to stay in Cuba.
Exactly. All right.
We left Haiti to go straight to Miami.
To the United States.
To the United States of America. I don't know where I was going to end up, but that's what was it. we left there to go straight to.
Now, during that 600 miles, during that 600-mile crossing, were you ever afraid of being caught by the U.S. Coast Guard and be sent back to Haiti?
No, I never think that.
You never thought, not once, Mom?
No.
Like the U.S. Coast Guard just kind of like cruising around.
Trust
You
me,
never.
that never crossed my mind.
It was you just so focused.
Because we did not cross one.
I
don't know why we did not.
You just was one of the lucky ones, I guess.
We were the lucky one. We came. We had so many problems doing this journey. So many problems working.
So you wasn't afraid of being caught, but how did you feel about a lot of the boats who had that had sunk prior?
If I had been caught to go back home, I will be fine with it. I would be fine to go back home. But that did not cross my mind. You know? That did not cross my mind. But I feel sorry for those people that, as a matter of fact, there was a boat, there's a couple people we have to put in a boat.
Oh, because
to come here.
Wow, because their boat had sunk. So you saw their. Wait, did you see it sink?
No, the boat was sunk. That we met them in Cuba.
Oh,
and then the boat was sunk.
So they must have it was sinking, and then they swam to Cuba the rest of their way.
Or maybe the Cuban people picked them up halfway.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then they put those people in your boat.
Because I think when you left Haiti, there is certain distance. When you reach certain distance, the Cuban government already know how many people on the boat.
They're monitoring those waters.
All this time they monitor us in the ocean.
Much closer.
But I didn't know about it.
Of course not. Yeah.
You know? So that's the reason why when the voodoo priests try to throw the pastor on the ocean.
Right.
In my head, I didn't say nothing. But I said, as soon as I reach to Cuba, I'm gonna tell on him.
So the voodoo priest and the voodoo priest in your boat and was it a Catholic pastor? Christian? Just a Christian pastor. All right. So they were arguing since day one on the boat.
He's the one who arguing with the pastor.
Oh, the voodoo priest.
Yeah. Every time he's open, because when the wave was like the water getting so bad, and he took his bottle out, shaking his bottle.
Yeah.
You know, he went right in the top
trying
of
to get the spirits.
Try to call the spirit, you know, to let us pass, to give us through and everything. So the pastor opened his Bible, and reading scriptures, reading psalm, reading, and he's mad about it. Because to him, it's two spirits fighting against each other.
Man.
But I believe on the pastor's spirit. I believe what's on the Bible.
Yeah.
Because that's the original. When you have God in your side, you cannot go wrong.
Yeah. So that's how you felt.
That's how I felt.
But people were still comfortable with the voodoo priest, right?
Yeah. Some people
obviously it's still like he wasn't
but when he tried to the pastor,
that's when things changed.
That's when things
changed.
Nobody support him.
Exactly right.
Because even though they support him, the voodoo priest, everybody in the boat have greatly respect for the pastor.
Yeah. So it's like tradition, African like old African tradition fighting with new modern, I guess, Christianity coming to Haiti and all those spirits fighting on the boat.
The pastor was very nice. He was a very nice guy, very polite. Like he make you feel so comfortable to stay near him. But I understand there was the priest.
Of course.
He got his boat. The boat was for his brother.
So he felt like the boat was the voodoo priest's brother. So he felt obligated.
He felt obligated. He was responsible for everybody on the boat. You understand? But the pastor too at the same time doing what is right. Doing the right thing. At that certain moment, you have to call for God for guarding.
So with all these spirits fighting each other on a boat, obviously, the Cuban government, new refugees entering the boat after their boat had sunk. Did you have any comic relief on the boat? Did you guys make each other laugh at all?
We make each other laugh sometimes. Everybody give different ideas.
Different humor.
Jokes, different humor and stuff like that.
What about songs? Did you guys, what kind of songs or chants that kept your spirits alive?
We sang some of the song I don't even remember.
Wow.
It was too long ago.
Childhood songs?
Childhood song.
So, this is random, but did you know that the only black passenger to die on the Titanic was a Haitian engineer named, I think, Joseph LaRoche? Did I pronounce his last name right? LaRoche. He was actually on a mission back to Haiti. His pregnant, French wife had 2 kids survived and were placed on a lifeboat. In our last conversation, you talked about a close encounter with death. And that reminds me of Titanic and that Haitian connection story. Yeah. Obviously, the Titanic hit an iceberg. A wave hit your boat. So we had a discussion before. So here's that clip. I want you to listen to it. So that was a fascinating story you gave to me last time. So how was your childhood like in Jérémie?
I had a good childhood. My family, I grew up with my mom. I spent some time with my aunt too, my mom's sister. She was living in the Valleyville. I kind of live with my mom, halfway with my aunt, her sister. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because my mom is two of her girls. My aunt wanted two is all of her 3 girls. So sometimes I go to my mom on vacation. One time I went to stay. In 1980, when I went to visit her, that's when I stayed more longer. And in 1981, we came here. We take the journey. My aunt didn't even know that I left. She thought I went with my mom for vacation, for summertime. And then when I called her that, when I get to the United States, I called my sister, tell them I'm here. She always said that she was giving me a name. She called me grand femme, like grand femme, like because they
the
always
grown woman.
when I'm growing up, I always say I'm gonna be the head of the family and everything like that, So they say, oh, me grand femme really, grand femme like they call you Limina, like Mm-hmm. And when I call my sister, she said, where are you? Why you don't come back? You were supposed to go for like a month or 2, and you don't come back. We miss you, Papa. We miss you. Because we always play all the time,
I don't think she understood the magnitude of your trip.
I say, I am in Miami. And then she was living, at this time, we was in Port-au-Prince. We were living in Delma. Mm-hmm. Okay? So she called all the girls. The house was full of girls. And she said, Viangela, come. Papa said she's in Miami. So they're joking about it.
Yeah.
And then on the phone, Papa, why you go to Jérémie? You never come back. We were waiting for you. Every Saturday, the boat coming from Jérémie to Port-au-Prince. And she said, we were waiting for you. But you never come. What happened? What's going on? I said, I'm in Miami. Ta-da!
I know you miss Jérémie. I remember when I was a kid, you said Jérémie was known for poets.
Yes.
And that's such an amazing thing to know because I was writing poetry at such a young age.
Yes.
And there's a lot of poetry in how you tell your stories and what happened to you growing up. So what was your favorite food growing up?
My favorite food of growing up, I always love yam.
Yum.
I love fish. I love seafood. Oh God, I love seafood.
Well, it's a small town and your dad was a fisherman.
Légumes.
Militant.
Du coup, les légumes berigènes. And I love bouillon on Saturday. Because in Jérémie, they don't cook one food every day. They have menu. Every day there is a menu for every day.
Wow, so food. Each day there's a different...
Each day there is a different food. Unless if you can afford it, and then you go by whatever you have. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But there is a menu for everything, Yeah, on Saturday, it's the bouillon day.
So this is families that are doing this, not restaurants.
Not restaurant.
Each
when
day,
you go to restaurant,
the villages...
Yeah, the same thing. The restaurant cook all kind of food.
Right.
So when you go, you ask for what you want.
Right.
But we know, like on Saturday, you make bouillon. Most of the areas, On Sunday, you cook different. You make sauce pois du riz. is whatever you want to have on Sunday.
Right.
Every single day you cook something different.
That's good. And what
Just,
type of
just like I did here.
Yeah. What type of music did you listen to?
I love okay, back in the days I love Taboo, Skasha, Freddie.
And these are all compa bands, right? Haitian compa music.
Haitian compa music.
So these are old school.
Old school.
So if there's like any young Haitians listening to this, they're like, oh yeah, your mom's old. Even though you look young as hell.
Yeah, we like system band. That's old.
So yeah, those are awesome music that I can't relate to now, but I think I want to start listening to their music so I can try to understand the frequency, the energy of your childhood if I start listening to those old school compa bands. When you brought us to Haiti that very first time, do you remember when I knocked out my teeth, the four?
Yeah, four of your front teeth. I remember.
Four of the front teeth. So what happened? Like, refresh my memory.
What happened was I took you to an island. We had family in that island called Lillet.
Mm-hmm.
So you were playing with some other kids because everybody know us, my family, So while you playing, and then I was sitting in some other area talking to an old friend of mine, and that was like 7:00 at night, and you walked into me like your head down, but you look so weird. I'm like, Wilkin, what's wrong with you? Why are you acting this way? And you didn't even want to speak. And I hold your shoulder. I'm like, what happened to you, honey? And then when the boy came to me, said, Auntie Paulette, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not so sorry for what happened. What's going on? And he started push Wilkin. We was playing. I push him and he fell. When I look at your mouth, full front teeth.
Gone.
Gone. Oh,
just gone.
I'm like,
savage.
Oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. I was so shocked at that moment. And all the family and friends, and then they start getting mad at that boy.
I bet.
I said, no, get him. But for a moment, I said, oh my God, I regret bringing my son here. I should have never bring him here. And then at that moment, so I grabbed the boy. He was crying. And like everybody get on him. And that I didn't like. So I bring both of you together and I hug both of you.
Yeah.
I hug you. And that's
I remember, I remember that because
I know he's sorry already.
Yeah. How old was I at that time?
7.
7 years old. It's weird because I'm 34 and I still remember that evening. I still, it's blurry.
Yeah.
But I remember falling. And I remember sitting down.
Of course you remember.
And not saying anything. I still, and I also remember the actual ride to that island.
Yeah.
It was a very small boat, like super small.
My dad boat.
Your dad's, my granddaddy's boat. And I remember, my fingers flicking the water, the dark water.
And I keep saying, "Wilkin, take your hand off the water. Are you
afraid that fish might grab?" But you're a kid.
And he's like, "You do it." I said, "Wilkin."
Just kept doing it.
You don't do it. A fish might get.
I still like when you think of childhood memories, it's mostly blurry, but I still at 7 years old I remember those moments, and I still remember my pet chicken,
your cousin gave
that I had on my lap on that ride, and I love that pet chicken, and it was gone.
Yes.
What happened to my pet chicken, Bob?
What happened?
Did y'all eat it?
I took you to the farm to see my grandmother.
Yeah.
She was so happy to see you. She was so happy to see you. She feels so blessed that I bring you to see her. to see her. So, one of my nephew said, "Wilkin, I don't have nothing to give you. I have a chicken. I'm gonna give it to you." And you was like, "Oh, really?" You were so excited. And then he give you the chicken to take to Jeremy with you. But when we get to Jeremy, you say that you're going to use that for your pet. And for whatever reason, we tie the chicken in the back of the house, my mom's house, for 3 days straight. And then one night, we go to sleep. Next morning, when we woke up, somebody took the chicken. You were so devastated.
You know what? Recently, I don't know how I ran into this article, but I found out that chickens can be therapy animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, like people who are going through emotional stress or depression.
Yeah.
They're actually therapy. They can be therapy animals. So, in hindsight, I probably when you're a kid, you're attached to almost anything anyway. But that was very interesting to know. But I just saw chickens completely different. Now I still eat chicken, but I grew to respect the animals that I eat. You know, the spirituality of having resources around you to feed your body. You know, and it made me connect more with the world and whatnot. So that was very fascinating.
The second time I took you, Erica, Marcus, and Jessica.
Yeah, that was the second time all four of your kids went.
Yeah.
So the first time it was just me. Second time all of the siblings.
Yeah.
Now it's Zion's turn. Your grandson.
Zion wants to go so bad.
Your 8-year-old grandson. It is his turn soon, and he can't wait.
Is what I'm missing to what
Haiti to him sounds like a mystery island. I don't think he understands his identity really.
Old.
Yeah.
It
sounds like a mystery island for him.
He wants to go to Haiti.
Yeah.
Like he knows something about Haiti.
Mm-hmm. Now, just to go back from the start of the story. So it's clear that you left Haiti because it's relatively an isolated island with few political allies. Suffering, Venezuela was a big political ally, but Haiti suffered from disaster capitalism, still continues to suffer from that, Western imperialism, corrupt puppets and leaders, just a myriad of political and economic issues. And in the late 1950s, Haiti experienced what's called a brain drain, when all of your engineers and doctors, when they all leave the island because of Duvalier, remember?
Yeah.
All the doctors, lawyers, engineers, they all left the country. But Mom, when I think of the history of human migration and U.S. immigration, I definitely think of the North and Western Europeans leaving the old world, coming through Ellis Island, and right after that, you had Southern and Eastern Europeans escaping poverty and political issues. The Serbs, the Greeks, the Italians, Hungarians, Irish, Syrians, the Poles. Haiti has a special relationship with Poles. A lot of people don't know that there's a lot of Arabs and Syrians in Haiti, but each with their own ethnic and language differences, but they were able to racially assimilate into whiteness in America. So in the next episode, I want to talk about what your 16-year-old self thought about the wet foot, dry foot policy. Remember that? Where, America gave Cubans privileges over Haitians at the time. Because it's interesting, when you went to Cuba, you were welcome.
Yes.
And I want to, juxtapose those two experiences between you feeling very much accepted in Cuba, but when you came to Haiti, America didn't accept you the way they accepted Cubans.
Cuban, yes.
So let's sail. We're going to sail to July 17th, 1981.
Yes.
Okay?
That's when I arrived.
And all right. So my name is Wilkin Brutus.
And my name is Paulette Francois.
You're listening to A Boat, A Voyage. Come ride with us.